From the rise of guns blazing to the departure of Decade, one thing has stayed the same here in dueling. Konami doesn't respect you. For as much good as Duel Links does, it may be equally, if not worse, on the other end of the spectrum sometimes. This video isn't a hate video trying to tear down Duel Links, because obviously I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And Duel Links has by far been my favorite way to play the game. But with that being said, it's only so much that one could tolerate before it starts to feel like a toxic relationship. These are the things that need to change about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Yeah, I know. Being free to play isn't hard is something I said verbatim. However, it is tedious, it's time consuming, and for some decks, it's just not even possible within a reasonable amount of time. For starters, I don't believe any card in the game should be paywalled, let alone mandatory cards for a deck. When Book of Moon was released, it was the best and most needed staple in the game. Turn 1 boards were starting to get more impressive, and to even stand a chance of going second, you needed to have 3 Book of Moons in your deck. Around a similar time, the card Chaos Dragon Levianeer was added to the game to make Thunder Dragons a real deck, because without it, it simply just didn't have the firepower to dominate as it was intended to do during that time period. But what do these two random cards have to do with each other? They were both selection box exclusives. Not only were they selection box cards, but they were both locked to selection boxes for around 9 months. For 9 full months, these cards did not exist within a regular box, so only a portion of the community were able to play Thunder Dragons at full power or play Book of Moon in their deck. Selection boxes only let you spend a limited amount of gems in their box, so the only real way to guarantee that you get the card was to pull out the old credit card and spend a couple $100s in 2 separate selection boxes to get 3 copies of these cards. For the average player not willing or not able to spend $300 on a selection box is not only a pain in the ass, but it's often somewhat of a scam. For every game modifying card that they put in a selection box, there's at least 3 of the most well polished shit options we could have ever been given, and 2 alternative cards that we already have. Don't get me started on how the brand new selection box not only offers reprints, but it offers cards like Cosmic Cyclone, which means not only will you almost certainly be getting 3 additional copies of a card that you already have, but Cosmic is available in box chips, so the card is 100% free. You're spending money to get a card that you can quite literally get from the trader. Next in this section is structure decks. Structure decks are another form of paywall in the game, because you can only get 1 copy of structure decks for free, meaning you have to purchase the other 2 copies with money. Master Duel doesn't require 3 purchases of a structure deck, so why does Duel Link? That's not even mentioning how most structure decks still require you to go into a main box or a mini box to make it work, and in some cases even a selection box. In my honest opinion, I don't see a need for paywall cards, because people will pay anyway. A lot of people don't want to spend time grinding and saving gems, so it just isn't necessary. People spend money on regular boxes, so why wouldn't they spend money on a box that has the newest staple or support for their favorite deck in it? The only things that could be paywalled, in my honest opinion, are alternate cards, aesthetics like certain mats and sleeves. Hell, you could even make Chronicle cards paywalled. Anything that I need to play the game, though, should not be locked behind any form of a paywall. And while we're talking about monetization, let's just talk about crystals for a second. One thing that I've noticed, which is a little annoying, is my crystals aren't on all of my devices. My iPhone has a different amount of crystals than my PC has. Konami is that afraid that I might spend money on someone else's account, and I feel like that's just Mr. Krabs level of greed. Undead bought the Red Eye structure deck on my account, yet I have no access to the leftover crystals that he used, because it's only available on his phone when he logs into my account. And the crystals that I have left over on my phone are only available on my phone. So I have some crystals on my PC. Actually, I think I have 0 crystals on PC. I have like 25 crystals on my phone. And then if Undead logs in, I have 75 crystals when he logs in on my phone. That's crystals that I have no access to, that are just sitting there because they're separated by different devices.
So guys, PvP, it's just been ranked all this time and a couple PvP events here and there, but it's been kind of lackluster, bro. You look at Master Duel's PvP, they always have an event going on. But before I go into what I think Konami could do better about PvP, I'm going to talk about what they do horribly. The rewards for playing ranked are really just kind of subpar. You telling me I get 200 gems for getting to King Games? 200 gems? Congratulations, guys. You get to whiff on 4 packs for getting to the highest honor in the game. What the fuck kind of a prize is that, bro? And then on top of that, we do get our alternative formats, but the alternative formats aren't really well designed at all. They're either just, hey, here's regular ranked, except you also get turbo counters, or here's this historical format that is nothing like the game's history whatsoever. Plus, we also let you play a modern deck to completely destroy all of the old tier decks. Okay. So why the fuck am I playing a 2026 deck against these 2017 decks, bro? What kind of fair balancing is that, bro? It's just a whole bunch of shit. It feels like Konami does not give a fuck about actually making their PvP experience nice. One thing I will give Master Duel is they do have pretty cool PvP events. Like, for example, they got the Synchro Cup, Xyz Cup, all of that, you know, summoning mechanic cups, and also like the mixtures between summoning mechanic cups where you can only use 1 or 2 particular summoning mechanics, and that can give a lot of decks that don't usually get any spotlight a good chance to shine. Plus, they tend to have custom ban lists too, to also, you know, make it a little bit more balanced. They don't always work in making it more balanced, but at least they try there. For Duel Links, bro, Legacy Duels genuinely sucks. Turbo Duels, I actually really like Turbo Duels. It's just that I wish that it was a permanent game mode rather than just something that happens once in a while. I think that there really needs to be more than one ranked system in a game this old, bro. There needs to be more than one format. And Rush just, bro, let's be real, Konami. Okay, nobody actually plays Rush. So let's stop trying to push it. Let's just try to focus on speed duels, give the speed duel players what they want, give us alternative formats. Some people have been wanting a format with no skills. Let them have it, bro. It'll be easy to code. I've been wanting a turbo duel ranked. Give me that, bro. That would be cool as hell. And if you're gonna do historical formats in Legacy, at least make them accurate to what Duel Links history was actually like, and stop making a deck that was released within the last couple of months playable within a format that's supposed to represent old school Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. That doesn't make any sense. That's like bringing a tactical nuke to a knife fight, bro. What the hell are you allowing? Every single one of your legacy tools is tier 0, bro. What are we doing? Another thing too is Duel Links used to have this thing where like there's this PvP event. Everyone would go to the event page and pick a side, and whoever got more wins on that team got better rewards. And I think that was really cool, and it motivated people to duel more for like a team aspect. That is something that is missing from a 1v1 game like this. So I think something like that could be brought back.
The timer has been an issue for quite some time now. If you're playing a deck like Ragnar Zero or Invoked Anything, then you probably won't agree with this segment. But if you're playing a deck like B-Trooper, Drytron, or Shaddolls, you might feel like sometimes there just isn't enough time in the game. Konami has made upgrades to our timer, like giving us an additional 20 seconds when we end our turn, or giving people 9 seconds to tap the screen or get disconnected from the game. But that only helps so much. We're dueling with the same timer that was around when our game plan was set 3 and normal summon a monster. That might have made sense when the best card in the game was Invoke Kakaitis, but now even a monster like Dragoon is the entry level to if your deck may be tiered or not. With the game getting more complex as time continues, I just think it only makes sense that we would be allotted more time to make complex decisions. Dual rooms let us make 600-second rooms, which is a little overboard if you ask me, but closer to Master Duel's 300 seconds would be the right choice in my opinion. Some other changes that can be made are, on top of the fact that we have a 9-second inactivity timer, I think we should also maybe have a timer that says you need to activate a card. I don't know, something, instead of just tapping the screen, and maybe also disconnect them if they don't activate a card. Because though I do want people to have more time, I also don't want them to stall the game out. But I don't know, that might be just a little overboard, but it is just a suggestion.
Konami's also been kind of shirking us on the PvE events. The events in Duel Links history have actually been pretty good. Like, gate events have always been good, right? You get to unlock a character, get cards, duel against a fairly powerful NPC, which is good for testing events, and these days is very good for grinding EXP. So I got no problems with these gate events. But in the past, we had RPG events, we had dice roll events, we did recently have a soccer event, which was pretty interesting but kind of lackluster. It kind of reminded me how in the past we had this Tristan Taylor joke event where like Tristan Taylor would appear in Duel Links, you would touch him, and then instead of dueling him, he would multiply, and then he would just keep multiplying, and it was just a joke. Like, that isn't something that they had to do, but it's something that they did do anyway, just to show that they kind of cared about the players, you know, they wanted to interact with them a bit. But now all the events we get are like just raid duel, tag duel. There's just events that are basically slop that you can just press auto duel over and over. Just keep on pressing auto duel. Farm engagement. Don't actually engage the player's enjoyment at all. Just keep pressing auto duel until the event's done, bro. That is so boring. What are we doing, bro? We used to have really fun events. We could even just re-roll those old events if you wanted, but no, we just keep re-rolling the same slop.
I spoke about this in my Konami fix your game video, but I can go in a bit more depth. When using the auto duel feature, your AI may think about what it's going to do for minutes. It may never even make a decision until you leave the app and refresh. Not exclusive to the auto duel function, because in PvP also your game might forget to give an epilepsy warning and hit you with the flashiest lights since 2007. Your game might glitch out and just bug out like I'd shown you in the previous video. I even watched a Farfa stream where the game said that he had 15 seconds left for his turn, yet still said he lost due to a time limit. A lot of these glitches and bugs have existed in the game for some time now, as well as other things like, don't even get me started on KC Cup, which that'll probably be a video in itself, to be honest, around KC Cup. But these are a lot of features and things that have just been going on for a long time that Konami have seemed to just not address. I don't know why they don't want to address any of these bugs and glitches, because it just makes the game so unplayable sometimes. And personally, it makes me not even want to play on my phone. I've been PC exclusive for the last like month and a half.
It's no secret, guys, there's been a lot of FTKs in Duel Links across the last year, and people have been blaming skills for it, but in my opinion, if a skill wasn't going to take advantage of a burn card, then a deck without a skill was going to take advantage of it without the skill eventually anyway, so it's really the cards that have to go. Back in the day, when a box dropped with new cards that would potentially enable an FTK, Konami would actually preemptively nerf the cards that turn on the FTK, whether they be the older cards or the newer card. And they would still sometimes miss some things out, but for the most part, FTK strategies were dead on arrival. Konami doesn't pre-nerf FTK strategies anymore, and to me, this just kind of seems like laziness. Now, to be fair, guys, I don't think that Konami is lazy when it comes to box design and release schedule. I just think that, you know, they could spend more time like they used to on making sure that, you know, an FTK doesn't happen, because I feel like, you know, burn cards are just destined to do that kind of shit. So either put hard ones per turns on them, or just basically ban or limit it to the cards that are not hard ones per turns, basically. I also think it's kind of funny that Konami seems to think that the only erratas they can do for cards is changing the burn damage by cutting it in half. You can still do other kinds of erratas, bro. This is your game. If you feel like it's gonna make the game better, do an errata. Like, I don't think that you should errata cards all the damn time. But, you know, we already have cards in the game that are different to their in real life counterpart for one reason or another. So that whole delicate balance of trying to be as similar to the physical game as possible is already kind of gone. We are our own game, and we are, in my opinion, the best version of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, do what you want to do to make the format healthy. And I do think, apart from the FTKs being a constant thing, that Duel Links format is always the most healthy out of all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Formats that exist. I'm not talking about Rush Duel. I don't know a damn thing about Rush Duel. I'm not going to pretend to know a damn thing about Rush Duel. But Duel Links is always the most balanced Master Rules version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Weatherman and I were able to come up with 6 things that we think need to be changed about Duel Links in order to make it the best game that it can be. This is not to say that we don't think more bad things are true about Master Duel. And if you guys want to see what we think about Master Duel, then hey, leave a like. If we can get to 300 likes on this video, well, then we might do some shit talking about Master Duel too. But hey guys, if you like the video, hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Have yourselves a good one. We've been Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the Weatherman. I ain't ask them to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.